What's going on, everybody? I have something to talk to you today, and this is a pretty touchy subject, so you should stay tuned. Let's roll that intro. What's going on, everybody? Back here for another video. Today we're going to talk about a subject that it's not really talked about too much on the YouTube community. I've seen tons of video on editing, capturing photos, different styles of photography, um, how to do certain things in photography, all the fun parts of photography, really. But no one really talks about the business side, and this topic right here on copyright, this is something that I believe every photographer should know. So that's why I'm making this video. And I'm gonna tell you a few recent incidences with me and copyright. So first incident was I didn't have a company, but there was a company that stole my photos and they used them for their website banner and marketing material. And I got wind of this, and first what I did was I just gave them a warning. And I also I just sent them an email. I was just like, hey, the photos that are on your website that you're using, they're actually mine. And I would like for you to take them down. But then I also offered them, I told them I'm flattered that they love the images that much that they wanted to use them. So they could either purchase the images for usage from me, and they could keep the images up, or what we can do is we could set up a shoot tailored to the images that they took from me, but I would be creating the images for their site. And they just never emailed me back. And then a little bit of time went by, and then the model that I had in photos that they took, she was getting she told me that she was getting like threats and stuff, like negative comments and stuff, because it was my photo of her on this company's website, and I guess this company was just not really a good company. So she was getting threats and stuff because her photos, the images, my photos of her were on the website. So I ended up having to go into more legal action, where I sent that company a DMCA takedown notice. And that is part of the Digital Millennium Copyright Act, I believe. Yeah. So I sent them that, and basically what it does, it just states that, you know, you do not have authority to use these images that on your website. So it linked to their website, the images that they had on their website, and then it linked to the original creator of the images, which is me. And it just says, if you don't take these down, further legal action would happen. So they ended up taking the images down within 24 hours, and that was that. So that's why it's important for us as photographers to know our rights and just keep an eye out on where you put your images and stuff like that. And I know it's kind of hard these days because it's a influx of images online, but I just want you guys to know the value of your work and know your worth. And if a company, if they really like your photos, that's a great opportunity to bring them on as a client. But if they're stealing your photos, then that's not good at all. So yeah, like I said, that company, they took down the photos, within 24 hours of getting that DMCA notice, and that was that process. So move forward to the next incident. I was in negotiation with this one company. I'm gonna preface this where I should have talked about this sooner in the negotiation process. So that's kind of like my, you would say my fault. I'm acknowledging that as far as this concern. But when I was doing my invoice estimate for them, I had everything listed out where when I had talked to the marketing person for that team, she told me that they were only going to use the images for 2 months usage. So I was like, all right. So I came up with the estimate for 2-month usage of the images. The owner of the company, he was telling me, oh, well, that's not, we need more usage. We need unlimited. He said we needed unlimited usage, and the usage for the images were going to be for the web, and that was it. So I was like, well, if you want unlimited usage, that's going to be a premium price. But what I can do is I can give you 2-year unlimited web usage. So that's what I quoted him. So the price of the estimate went up a little bit, and he was like, well, no, we want unlimited usage, and that's non-negotiable. And so I was like, well, you're going to have to pay a premium. So the best I can do for you, because I already knew his budget, I was like, the best I can do for you is this 2-year unlimited web usage. And this was when he got like very upset. Let me get my phone so I can read you exactly what he put. This was his last email that he sent me. He said, Will, this is getting frustrating for me. Why are you trying to retain any rights to the images still? I am going to tell you this one more time. Every photo you take and we pay for becomes our photo for use anywhere, anyhow, with no limitations. Are you getting this? That's exactly what he said. And I'm going to tell you right now, I'm a very chill, laid back type of dude. And that right there kind of like took me to a place that I don't really go to that often. But I had to bring myself down. I talked to my wife, and she was even on fire with me. We were about to woo, but you know, I'm a man of character, and I don't stoop to people's levels. So, obviously he was uneducated on the fact of copyright and usage laws. So what I did, of course, I brought this to one of my mentors' attention, and we had a discussion, and this is what I ended up responding. So obviously, like I said, this person was not literate on copyright and usage laws, especially for commercial use when hiring a contracted photographer, such as myself. So as an independent contractor, freelance photographer, I own all the rights to every image that I use when I click the shutter button. That's that. And what I'm doing is I'm licensing a copy of my original file for whatever company I work with. So this company, I'm licensing that image for them to use for a period of time. So if he wants unlimited usage, and basically for me to give up my copyright, he has to buy out that image and or those images. For this project, he wanted 30 images. So that is quite a big chunk of money for full buyout. So I'm going to share with you guys copyright law and the frequently asked questions in the Professional Photographers of America website, where they take pieces of the copyright ca.gov website and they answer some of these frequently asked questions when it pertains to photographers. So what is a copyright, you may ask, right? A copyright is the exclusive legal right of creators or assigned copyright owners to reproduce, distribute, publicly display, or create derivative works from original work. A copyright also gives the owner exclusive rights to license those usage rights to others. So that's essentially what I was doing. Like I said, I would create the images. I would be licensing them to use derivative copies of my original file of the captures. Another frequently asked question is, what does copyright cover? I'm going to read that to you. Copyright protects original works of authorship. The same law protects photography as well as dramatic, musical, and artistic works such as songs, motion pictures, property, novels, choreographs, sculptures, and more. So it basically protects all artists. So if you're an artist creating original work, this copyright protects you. And you may ask, how long does a copyright last? I'm going to tell you that right now. Let's see. Just a second, let me find it. A copyright lasts for the lifetime of the creator plus 70 years. So as long as I'm alive, that copyright is my full ownership. And then when I pass away, 70 years after that. And then works created by a corporation is 95 years. And yeah, so that's all I'm going in for this right now. I'm gonna put the link in the description below for you to go more into this. But I just made this video because I wanted to share with you guys that as photographers, we need to know our rights as creators. And I see a lot of photographers pretty much just giving their work out like for free and dirt cheap. And that's really, you really want to value yourself and your worth as a photographer. And one of the things that you do is you have contracts in place, and you have if you're working with a model and things like that, model releases are in place as well, because you are the owner of the images and you're just licensing images for others to use. So aside from all the fun parts of photography, like creating the images, editing the photos, sharing them on social media, and all that, that's all fun in photography. But knowing your rights, and when people abuse your rights and you have to take action on these things, I just want you guys to just know your rights as a photographer or creator, because it works for all music. That's why when you're creating your YouTube videos, you can't just grab any song. You have to get either you have to contact the original person of the song, or you go to the uncopyrighted library. It's the same thing with photography and images. So if you see an image you like, try to find out who took that image, who captured that image, and see if you could work something out with them. And a lot of times, if someone were to come to me and say, "Hey, I really like this photo," this is aside from business to business transactions. If someone really likes a photo and say oh, I really like your photo, this photo, I want to share it on my Instagram for blah blah blah. Just the fact that they came to me, and that's gonna just help me respect them more, and I'll say sure. Depending on what exactly they're going to be using the image for, I'll be like, I might be like, sure, you could use that image for such and such reason. And so just know your rights as a photographer or creator. And I know this doesn't really get talked about much in the YouTube community, but as a business owner, this is just something that has to be talked about and has to be taken care of when you're handling business. So hope you found this video informational, and if you liked it, please, if you had any cases like this, share them below in the comments and shoot for your dreams. I'll see you guys on the next video.